Howdy folks, Singing Toad here. Do you like small fixed blade knives? I know I sure do. We're going to talk about it. Stay with me folks. You're watching the Singing Toad YouTube channel. Howdy folks, Singing Toad here. Thank you for tuning into my channel today, and I hope you're having an absolute charming day. So today we're going to talk about a topic I don't think I've ever actually spoken of much on my channel, and that is small fixed blades, or EDC fixed blades. And without any particular ado, we're just going to start with this one. So this is a hunt shield knife, and I believe they call this the gut hook, or Skinner or something like that. I forget what exactly this thing is called. It does come with a little sheath here that is, I believe it is some type of leather. Does not have a drain hole, which is a feature I do like to see on any type of a hunting knife, because if the blade is returned to the sheath wet or maybe covered in things, having a drain hole to let that drain out so that the blade does not rust is important. And I know you might say, well, just wipe the blade clean, but sometimes you're absent-minded, it's been a long day, and you've just spent a few hours, quartering out and field dressing an animal. You might not be in the right frame of mind to wipe your blade clean before you put it back in the sheath. In fact, I know of hunters that have left their knives out in the field because they completely forgot about them, because they placed it down and they were so busy to get the carcass back up onto the ATV or onto their truck or whatever, and forgot about their knife and left it out in the field, because you're just so worn out from a long day. Anyway, it does feature a lanyard hole, and there is a little bit of a blemish there in the wood. And I can't remember what the steel is on this thing, and I do know that this is a Chinese-made knife. I want to say it's AUS 8 steel, that or it's 8 CR13 MOV or something of that nature. I did put an edge on it. I mean, it wasn't remarkably sharp out of the box, but I did sharpen the edge. It sharpened up really, really easily, and that gut hook is quite sharp. But as you can see, it's not a very large knife, and in fact, if we put the blade right on this line, starting at the ricossa here, we're talking 1, 2, 3, 3¼ inches long is the actual blade. A total of 3½ inches if you go right from the actual handle itself, or the bolster. But it does sit in the hand, or fit in the hand, very nicely. And although I've not used this thing yet to field dress an animal, it is a cool knife. And I'm just going to go ahead and leave it over here for now, and I'm going to take the sheath away. In no particular order, this is the next one I want to talk about, and this, I believe, is an old timer or a Schrade. What is this thing again? Oh, it's an Uncle Henry. So yeah, Schrade, I was right. Okay, so it is a Schrade, it's an Uncle Henry, and this of course has a fake jig bone type material. Again, no drain hole on the sheath, and this sheath, by the way, was very loose, and the knife would just easily slide right out. So I did have to modify the sheath. I had to glue it in place and glue a little rubbery glue stick in here, just to keep it from popping out, because there was not enough retention on this clasp here. The knife would just come straight out, and if you ever found yourself in a position where you might be inverted, the knife would fall out, and then you would be without your knife in the field, or if you were carrying this for EDC purposes. It does feature a forward finger choil and a thumb ramp. This, I believe, is in 7 CR13 MOV or something like that, so, something to that nature. It is full tang. I forgot to mention that knife is also full tang. I did touch the edge up on it, and I do like the feeling of this knife. I actually really do enjoy the feeling of this knife, and it also has a small wee little blade on it. So if we go from the ricossa again, we're talking 1, 2, just under 2½ inches is the length. Now if you count from the handle, then we're going 1, 2, wait, hold on a second, 1, 2, just over 3 and an eighth there, if you were counting from here. But I really don't consider that. I consider the blade. But this would be a nice little caping knife for hunting purposes. So I'm just going to place that one over there. Next on the list, we have an old timer, and this is a sharpfinger. Now, this one did not have a drain hole, but I went ahead and modified that. I punched a drain hole through the bottom, and As you can see, the sheath here is, again, some type of leather material. Again, full tang. I'm not sure what the handle scales are made from, but it's some type of polymer. That is wood, and this is a polymer that's made to look like bone. This is a polymer, and this model is the 152 OT, and this is in, I believe, 7CR 15 MOV or something of that nature. Again, I did sharpen the edge, and I did modify it. This heel stuck out quite a bit. I grinded that down a little bit. And there's still a little bit of a recurve in the blade, which I'm not overly fond of, but that'll sharpen out over time. But I do like the little thumb ramp right there, and this thing really just feels nice in the hand. And would be also a nice little caping and skinning blade. Let's take a measure on the blade itself. So if we go from the ricasso once again, and we're going to go 1, 2, just under 3 inches for the sharpened edge, 3.5 if you count back from the handle. But again, a nice little small blade for hunting, skinning, and outdoors activities. Next one, we have the CRKT Minimalist, and this one has this really cool glow-in-the-dark Kydex sheet. I think it's Kydex, some type of polymer. And then, of course, it has this little stopper here, and I do have a little knot in the end there, but you can adjust where it rides on your neck. I don't actually carry it as a neck knife, but that's one of the options. Oh, by the way, it does come with a little belt sheath that you can mount. You can either mount it so that the knife sits, you know, vertically or horizontally, so you can have it as scout carry or in vertical carry. If I was going to actually carry this knife, I would probably carry it with the belt clip attached to it and not as a neck knife. Just because here in Canada, neck knives, unless you're going to carry it directly on your outermost layer, if you carry it inside your clothing, that's a concealed weapon, and that falls under a set of laws that I just don't even want to get into, and carries with it charges and things like that that I just don't want to even talk about. So to me, neck knives aren't really something that I would be carrying here in Canada, and carrying it fully exposed or open carry would maybe lead to some conversations that I don't want to get into and bring unwanted attention to myself, especially where I live. If I lived out in the sticks somewhere, probably no one would care. But where I live in the city I live in, if I was wearing this around my neck and walking around public, I guarantee the police would be called on me very, very quickly. And that, unfortunately, is what it is. But nevertheless, this is the CRKT Minimalist, and this one has the Cthulhu, I think is what they call that creature on there. It's like a sea monster. And what's really cool is that it is glow in the dark. It is in the, I believe this is in the 8CR13 MOV steel. That or it's OS 8. Again, I forget what exactly it is. It is, again, full tang. All of these are full tang, in fact. It does have nice jimping. This is a clip point style. They do make the Minimalist in a whole whack of different styles of blade shapes. It still has the original factory edge on it. I have stropped it, but it's somewhat sharp, but it's not like hair splitting sharp or anything like that. And does have this neat little lanyard bit on the end here that just gives your pinky something to kind of grab a hold of while you're using the knife. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave that one out. Oh, let's quickly measure the blade. So it's just actually under 2 inches, the actual sharpened bit, and it'd be just over 2 1/8 maybe from the handle, all said and done. Last but not least is this little dandy piece, which is made by Kyle Noseworthy out in Newfoundland, Canada. And this is a custom piece that he made for me. And this knife here is in 01 tool steel. And this is, of course, a full tang blade, as you can see. And the sheath is absolutely beautiful. It does feature a drain hole. It is kind of hard to see, but it is there. So Kyle knows what he's doing with making sheaths, unlike some other professional companies that don't seem to know how to make sheaths correctly for the outdoors. And this thing is absolutely gorgeous. And like I said, this is a custom piece. You can't just go and buy these in the store or order them online. You have to go through Kyle if you want to get one made. This is the Bake Apple model, and this is fully custom. I did ooh, did I just get myself? I almost just got myself there. I gotta be more careful here. This is a full flat grind. The Bake Apple by standard, I believe, comes with a Scandi grind, but I requested full flat grind. and I requested these colors here, and I just think this is an absolute gorgeous knife. And there's his maker's mark right there, the letter K. It does have a 90-degree spine. Again, that's something I requested so I could use it to strike a ferro rod. Being a carbon steel, I could even use it again with some type of a flint, and it would throw sparks. So very cool little knife, and this is something that is going to stay in my collection forever and ever, as will probably all these too. So where am I going with all this? I don't know. I've lost my chain of thought already. So these are the small fixed blades. These aren't all of the small fixed blades in my collection. I do have more, but these are the ones I just pulled out for today's video. I just wanted to show some different styles, you know, one being kind of a neck knife and kind of a tactical design, one being a custom piece, one being more of a traditional design, and one being something more modern with the gut hook, and then this one here that's kind of a caping knife with the mock bone handle, just to kind of show you guys some options and really give a spread here. What do you guys think? You know, do you collect small fixed blade knives? Do you use them for EDC? Are they something that you take with you into the wilderness? Are they a companion blade to a larger knife, or maybe a hatchet or an axe or a saw or something? Or do you just think these knives are a waste of time and you wouldn't bother with little tiny knives because you gotta have your big Bowie knife to go defend off the big grizzly bear? You know, tell me what you think, folks. I want to know. I appreciate your feedback, and I enjoy interacting with you. That's all I have for you today, folks. Take care, my friends. This is Singing Toad signing out.